It's Monday night, so you know what time it is. It's time to get you ready for game day and wrap up week 5 with Monday Tailgate. We got the Raiders on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs, a divisional matchup at Arrowhead Stadium, and it is the season for pumpkins. Look at that. Whoever carved that got some serious skills, and we're going to see some serious skills in this field. We're pretty excited for it. Hello and welcome to Monday Tailgate presented by Snickers. I'm Skubie Mageza with my awesome hosts, Erin Dolan and Daniel Dopp, and we got a great game set up for us, y'all. I can't even be more excited to see what's going to come up, and we're counting you down to this game, and we got a packed show for y'all tonight. We have the best action through Monday memes per usual, because that's what we do. We got to show y'all and catch you up everything with some funnies. And then we got Jason Fitz. He'll probably be talking about his Raiders because he's a big Raiders fan.
That's what he does.
But he's also going to give us the top 5 most feared QBs in the NFL since the spooky season till this point. So we'll have that later on in the show. And then since we have our betting and fantasy experts here.
It is okay.
Our betting and fantasy experts here, Erin and Dopp, will give you some of the advice that you guys need to know heading into this matchup. But before we go any further, Erin, the Eagles, I see it on your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
They're 5-0. Only undefeated team left in the league. Let the people know how you feel. The floor is yours.
As Drake once said, trust me, at the top it isn't lonely. Oh, you guys know I was coming in with that one.
Okay.
We are undefeated, but we are playing the Cowboys this weekend, which makes me very, very nervous. But they've been dominant in the first half of games, actually outscoring opponents 106-45, which is crazy. They're the 4th team in the last 15 seasons to not trail in the second half through the first 5 games. Crazy. Love this meme right here. Bad weekend to be a Cardinal. Absolutely. You got this one. ESPN hitting you up saying the Eagles are 5-0 with Jalen Hurts. Love it. He has been the man all season. But yeah, I'm super hype, obviously, about the Eagles being undefeated.
And Jalen Hurts putting the team on his back like the 600 pounds he has right there. 5-0 undefeated, well-deserved. Shout out to your team. I know we poked a little bit of fun about the way that y'all were, had some cupcake games, but
we did.
They're doing better than us, right?
They are awesome. Especially if I had Jalen Hurts in fantasy, I am loving life right now. Dude is lights out, for real.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, I wish I drafted you in fantasy. I'm kind of upset that I didn't, but I'm not upset about this next segment. It is now time for Monday Memes, as I mentioned, and it's our best way to go through Sunday's action. And counting down towards this game, we did have some breaking news come out. We have our first firing at the head coach position in the NFL. Matt Rhule has been let go. They agreed to part ways. He had a 7-year, $62 million contract, and he's still owed more than $40 million right now. But if you ask me, dude is failing upwards, because if your buyout is $40 million and you have a head start at the college football openings, head coach openings coming up soon, you're feeling pretty good. So if you got that $40 million buyout, things aren't as bad as it seems for Matt Rhule. But 11-27 in 3 seasons, and this team has been struggling on offense as of late.
Oh, that was a nice way to put it, Scooby. Struggling as of late, yeah.
11-26 in 2+ seasons.
Dopp, I feel like some fantasy owners are feeling happy about this firing at this point.
Well, at this point, what you're hoping for is that somebody unlocks both DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey to get back to the superstars that we know that they are, because it is so frustrating when someone is so good at the game and they're just not utilizing them to their potential. What do you do about it? I guess you fire your coach is what you do.
And by the way, he was also the only coach on Caesars Sportsbook that didn't take one bet to win Coach of the Year. The only coach.
Wow. Not even Vegas had any type of faith in you.
No,
and they seem to know things and guess it right. That's why they got the big buildings in the desert over there. But Steve Wilkes will take over as the interim head coach. He was the previous Arizona Cardinals head coach in 2018 when he was 3-13, and then he was fired the following season. So we'll see how he does with this team now. I'm sure there's going to be some shakeups over there and some mentions of teams sending them some trade offers going forward. So we'll keep an eye out on that. But now to some actual memes. We mentioned the Eagles and the NFC East earlier. And right now it is rush hour in Dallas because Cooper Kush Cooper, what's wrong with my speaking today? Cooper Rush, all he does is win, 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 no matter what. He is now 5-0 as the starter, and I don't know if y'all remember Jerry Jones saying that they might have some QB controversy down there in Dallas. Well, let's see how Jerry Jones is right now. And Erin,
don't you hate when Jerry Jones is like low-key right?
Yes.
I know, right? Erin, how do you think these Cowboy fans are feeling now that their star QB is chilling and recovering, and they're off to this great start?
It's really about the defense, if you break it down. I mean, I'm scared of Micah Parsons. I'm scared of DeMarcus Lawrence. I would not want to line up against anybody on the Dallas defense right now. I think it really comes down to that, and I don't think they've played stiff competition, to be honest. I know everyone's kind of overreacting a little bit to this Cooper Rush thing and what's going on, but for me personally, I mean, the defense is keeping them alive. It's not really the quarterback.
Hey, Dopp, the Cowboys, they have faced in the first 5 games, the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl, they faced them, and they beat both of them.
Yeah.
They're only the second team to ever do that. So what is working for the Cowboys, and is there anything that we should be paying attention to fantasy-wise?
The defense is working, Scooby. Like, this is, and listen, I love Cooper Rush. It's an awesome story, but the dude's 28. It's not like he's coming on to become like the next face of the Dallas Cowboys. And he came from Central Michigan. Like, that's my hometown. I swear, he literally went to college 30 minutes from where I grew up. He's not the next thing for Dallas. Dak Prescott is that guy. I have no idea what Jerry Jones is doing here. It feels like
it's just a narrative.
Fueling a fire within his own team. But I don't know what's the positive that comes out of Jerry doing this? I don't really understand.
It's getting people to talk, I feel like, if anything. It's
It's
bringing a
just
lot of
excitement
awareness.
and
Yeah.
Even drama? I think
the drama.
Jerry is the drama. I don't know. A lot of drama coming out of Dallas. Dak just gets to heal up, so good for him. But we'll stay in the NFC East with that theme because London Bridges was falling down when the Packers were upset by the Giants. They beat them 27-22. The Giants are now 4-1, equaling their best start since 2009. No one saw this coming, maybe not even the Giants fan, because they're like, hey, are we a good team?
No.
No, you are not.
No.
Oh, so you got something to say about them not being a good team,
Yes.
Doc?
Listen, I love Saquon. I'm thrilled Saquon is back and doing the things. They have nobody to catch the football. They have no pass catchers. They ran a double tight end reverse in order to get in the end zone. If you're doing that, it's not because you have confidence in everyone else on your offense. I love the fact that they are 4-1. Thrilled for them. No, they are not this good of a team.
Are we calling them a phony, Erin? Are they phonies here?
Yeah, they're phonies. I mean, the NFC East is just crushing it right now because the level of competition, again, is just not good. But in terms of betting, they were an 8-point dog in this game, which was the biggest upset so far this season, which was pretty interesting.
And, this game had so many things that were interesting. To see Saquon running that Wildcat, and they're almost saying, listen, you are our team. Jones, just
until he gets hurt.
We don't even want it.
Don't speak that.
I don't want to say it into existence, but like he's typically injury prone, so
facts.
Leaning just on him.
He did leave the game and come back, and then he came back and busted out a big run. But this game also allowed us to see fake Aaron Rodgers again. For those
this
who
was
have
wild. This was
ever
cool.
Seen not Aaron Rodgers, well, he was back. And the reason why he was in London, for those that don't know, he lives in Germany, so it was easier for him to go to the London game than it would have been for Green Bay. So my dude was out there just like...
Aaron Rodgers should hire him to be his dupe when he goes out. So Aaron Rodgers can just do whatever he wants.
Have they not done a commercial together yet? There's
That's true.
Something.
There's got to be a PR.
Gotta have a hand in
Look
this.
at you always thinking of money.
You know what I'm? Well,
They can do a double discount check. I haven't
right.
seen him do that in a while, but it's definitely a double discount check moment. All right, so moving on to our next meeting. The Sunday night game did not disappoint.
Oh my God.
And this guy right here at it again, nailing the game winner. And Lamar Jackson referred to him as the GOAT because he really is. So when Justin Tucker steps on the field to kick a game-winning field goal, you might as well get tucked because, Erin, that's another one. 61 straight successful field goals in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely
and overtime.
insane. That's a guy you can rely on. That's so important because when you can't get those touchdowns, and after we saw what happened last night, it was a very boring game overall. But I mean, when you can rely on a field goal kicker like that, all things are kosher.
They didn't want to rely on him last week, now did they?
No, they did not. And I don't even want to talk about this because as a Lions fan last year, he kicked the longest field goal ever in NFL history to beat my team in overtime. So it's This one just hurts on all
Just
other
hurts.
levels. It's just like a reminder of how good he is, and I have to relive my moment all over again.
Man, in a position that is so underestimated. Just asked a couple of teams how they would feel about having a kicker who can make a field goal, especially the Arizona Cardinals. We'll get to that probably later on. But moving on, the Falcons lost to the Bucks, and there was some drama coming out of that game as well. A late penalty got a lot of attention on social media. The refs called a roughing the passer on Tom Brady after Grady Jarrett sacked him, and that kept the drive alive for them to ice the game. Now, for those who didn't see the tackle, it was a very routine tackle, and that Kevin Hart meme that we just showed you, they were referencing how you got to sack NFL quarterbacks these days. You got to pick them up and you got to put them to bed and make sure that you read them a bedtime story. Dopp, how do you feel about that call, the roughing the passer? Was it legit?
No, it was awful. It was so bad. And this is one of those things that's so frustrating because, like, as a defender, and I've never played football, but I can only imagine as a defender, I do everything right. And I go to tackle this guy, and they still call me for a penalty on it. It's like, it feels like I'm playing a different game. Like someone else just has different rules than I do. And when it feels that way, it's like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to take that, and I take a picture of it, and I put it on my Twitter profile photo. That's what I do so that everyone can see.
Social media is undefeated.
And it seemed like that is what the Atlanta Falcons did, because they were definitely feeling some type of way about the call. Oh, yes.
As they should. They have every right to do this. But like we talked about last week, there's nobody undefeated like social media strategists on these accounts.
Even Cordero Patterson went on and he changed his profile photo to Jerome Boger. Like, they are going all in, and to this point, it was an awful call, period. I've seen nobody defend it.
It was really bad.
It was a bad call, and I think it cost the Falcons the game.
Falcons, only team left in the NFL that has covered every single game. Keep that in mind.
Wow. Hey, you might want to
Undefeated
stop
against the
betting
spread.
on them. But I know some people are saying, well, it's Tom Brady. Obviously, they're going to make the call. Well, here's a stat for you. That was the first roughing the passer penalty on Brady since November 29th, 2020. And when you talk about teams that have benefited the most from roughing the passer's call, the Falcons have benefited the most in that time since 2020 with 20, including one yesterday. So maybe it was just like karma coming back around, because what goes around comes back around. A little Justin Timberlake there.
I don't think you sounded like him.
It's all good. I tried to do a sing.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as I'm not singing.
All right. Brady is far from a rookie, so let's now switch it to our attention where we should go for our rookie spotlight presented by Snickers. And how could we not give it to the Jets rookie running back, Breece Hall? Dude went off yesterday. The Iowa State product not only ran the ball 18 times for 97 yards and a touchdown, but he also caught 2 passes for a hundo. And Dopp, that's what you call efficiency. 197 yards and a touchdown. If you're a Breece Hall fantasy owner, you were happy.
Yeah, that's 50 yards per reception, and you're always happy with that. Analytically, those numbers are good. So you want to start Breece Hall in fantasy going forward. But seriously, the dude is unreal. We talked about how he might split time with Michael Carter, and they drafted Michael Carter in the second round last year, right? Like, this is still a backfield where they have a lot of skill position players, and Breece Hall has just sort of taken this job, and like that catch, the big long like 70-yard catch that he had was just straight up beast mode at the end of that. He looked so great. And it's not just him. Like, this whole offense, they're talking about this team. The rookies on this team are talking about how good they might be if they just have the right pieces here. So there was a meme that they sent out afterwards. Rich Cimini sent out a tweet afterwards where he was talking about what he heard from the locker room. Breece Hall was talking to fellow rookies during the game. Kind of went something like this. Bro, we're so good. We have the potential to be so good.
So
and they really do.
So
Keyword
good.
potential.
and potential is a big part of it. But like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and like there are so many options. Like,
in the future, Erin, honestly, the future is looking bright for this team. And Sauce Gardner, an interception, and then he had the QB hit that forced the safety. You got to be happy if you're a Jets fan, right?
You do have to be happy. It's just, I feel like there's always a narrative of, oh God, how much worse can the Jets possibly be, that it's hard to be like, you know what, in a few years they're going to get it, because there's just been so many years of turmoil. But honestly, a lot of these players do look like there's some promise.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the next couple of seasons.
And let's not forget, Robert Salah is keeping all the receipts. Everybody was talking, and you know how at Costco they be checking receipts? This is him. And I'm glad that I ain't said much about the Jets early on in the season because he'll probably be asking for my receipt. I don't know if you have any receipts.
I have receipts of everything. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
But yeah, that was just an extra little meme for y'all because the Jets right now are definitely checking a lot of boxes and raising some eyebrows with the way that they're playing at this point in time, and they got their quarterback.
If you're a Jets fan, you're thrilled.
Oh, yeah,
Should be.
for sure, for sure. We're seeing a lot of madness in the NFL, and we love to see it because now we're moving on to our Mayhem Moment presented by Allstate. And Erin, this quarterback has been responsible for his fair share of mayhem in his time. And that happens to be a quarterback in your division. One good old Carson Wentz. Can you tell us a little bit more about the mayhem he went through yesterday?
So Carson Wentz and the Commanders, he had the chance for a game-winning touchdown, but the man decides to throw it to the Titans, to David Long Jr., because he forgot who he was playing for clearly in this game.
Right.
The Commanders have now lost 4 straight games. Ron Rivera asked today why the other teams in the NFC East are having more success than his team. He said quarterback. I don't even know how to respond to the head coach simply so quickly and abruptly going quarterback. I mean, he has a point.
We all have.
Why are you silent? Are you all just silent? There's nothing to say.
Okay, so I saw Ron Rivera that comment on Ron Rivera, and it's great to have those blue check mark reporters because then they'll add a little bit more to it. So the context towards that is he was saying everybody else in the NFC East has had more time with their offense and had more time. Cooper Rush has been in that system for some time. So that's the reason why he's finding success. But Carson Wentz, he just got here, so quarterback, he needs a little bit more time. So I don't know if he's back
in the league or just on their team. Come on.
Maybe it's more than quarterback?
No. I just am not high on the entire coaching staff for this Commanders team, so I'm not real big on like. There's no way that you can just flatly say quarterback flat. And Carson Wentz has what Carson Wentz is, and there are times where Carson Wentz is bad, but there's also part of it where like you need to not put your quarterback in a position to lose the game for your team. And when you talk about how much you want to rely on the running game, and that's what Ron Rivera is, and how good that defense is supposed to be, it's not just quarterback.
And from a betting perspective, if you look at Coach of the Year, Ron Rivera is one of the last ones at 100-1. So nobody has faith in Ron Rivera if you look at the odds.
But I will say this, because you brought up running backs. Brian Robinson coming back yesterday and his entrance song being
Many Men. That was great. That was great.
The coolest
that was a
thing
cool
I saw
shot.
all week. So shout out to them for that because that was the dub before they started the game, right? But from terrible quarterback play to really good quarterback play. How about Patrick Mahomes? He pulled a Houdini act last week, the whole spinaroo and like the whole jumper for the touchdown pass. We had Matt Hasselbeck sit down with Mahomes, and they got to talk a little bit more in depth about that play. So check it out.
So I talked to Andy Reid about your spin around touchdown pass, the little flick. What's the name of that play call?
Well, the name, all it was a fake dive. What do you
call it, though? What do you call it?
But to me, it goes to my basketball days, and I've been working. We have a hoop in the locker room, and so I work on my little sidestep kind of basketball shot. I've been working on that. I didn't know it was going to come out in the football field. It ended up coming out and ended up being pretty cool.
Man, doesn't it pay off to be a 4-sport athlete, a 2-sport athlete, you name it? Clearly basketball coming into play there for Mahomes. Dude's a problem, but your team is going to have problems facing him tonight because the GOAT is going to work.
That's why I'm eating my feelings. You're so right about athletic ability. The ability to make something out of nothing is part of what defines Patrick Mahomes because he manages to play not only scripted football but playground football. And when you can do both as effectively, efficiently as he can, it makes it a nightmare. I mean, I love the concept of everyone saying spy. Put a linebacker on Mahomes to spy him. Cool. You tell me a linebacker that can cover that level of athleticism day in, day out, and still do everything else they have to do defensively. So I think it's easier said than done.
So true, so true. That's why defenses struggle with him. And you talked about him being scary, which brings us to the reason why we're at this table. Fitz is here to rank the top 5 scariest quarterbacks in the NFL leading up to this point in the season, and it is spooky season, so we might as well go with that theme. So who do you have?
You're Patriots fans. You want me to put me? And I ain't putting Zappy up there.
It is the Zappening. All right,
The Zappening. No.
He'll earn his way to the top. Don't worry about that. He'll earn it.
No. At number 5 for me is Joe Burrow. Now look. I know Burrow threw a stupid pass last night that got picked, and a lot of people are talking about that. But the thing that scares me when you're facing Joe Burrow is you can't crack him. No matter how much you send at him, no matter where the looks are coming from defensively, no matter how they blitz him, he stands up. He takes every hit you could possibly ask for, comes right back up, and goes for it again. The fact that he's able to keep his head on a swivel when he's beaten up the way he is this many years in, I'm scared of taking on Joe Burrow.
And that's why they call him Joe Cool. He's just so cool, calm, and collective in the pocket. And to see what he did last year, being able to lead that team to the Super Bowl after being sacked the most in the NFL, he's taking hit after hit after hit, and he's getting back up ready to roll. I like him at number 5. Who
Next up on my list, I'm going to go with a veteran that we know so much about, Aaron. Look, and this isn't about the fact that the Packers are any good this year. I picked the Vikings to win the division. The Packers offense looks like hot garbage. But you could go in tomorrow and start for him at wide receiver. They are giving him no. I'm telling you, like, give my guy Scoobs on the field. They have given him no help, right? And yet they're still in every game. And I would love to make things as simple as like, well, Aaron Rodgers past his prime, or Aaron Rodgers can't get it done. No, they've asked him to be Superman, and he's still up and away every week. They are in games because Aaron is impossible of anything. So even though I don't love the offense, I'm scared of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah, and Bill Belichick said it himself when they had him last week. The way that he led that methodical drive down the field without any help at the wide receiver position, it just speaks magnitude to the type of game general he is. Scary dude to go against, no matter who he has thrown to him.
I got it number 3.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar in at 3. Yeah, like it's not throwing shade either. Like Lamar, again, we talked earlier about Patrick Mahomes, the ability to do things off schedule. The number of times, if you watched Sunday Night Football last night, that Lamar ducked into the line of scrimmage, realized he had nowhere to go, and rolled out. What do? If you're a defender taking him on, because he's got just enough moves to make you miss him, and he's so smart when he's out of the pocket with the football. I mean, Lamar Jackson scares the hell out of me because it doesn't matter who's healthy or not for the Ravens, they're in every game with him.
And he's just getting scarier and scarier every single year. He's now trying to pass. He's not looking to run after every single play. Lamar leads the team in rushing. For the 4th consecutive game, he's done that. At one point this season, he had more touchdowns than every single team in the NFL besides the Lions. So that speaks greatness to what Lamar is. And when he's in the game, watch out. Things can get scary.
You're talking me into I should have put him higher because I have Josh Allen at 2, and I don't know. Like now suddenly I'm thinking maybe I should have put Lamar. Like for me, those two quarterbacks are very similar in their ability to do whatever you need them to do. The difference with Josh Allen is he's just a little bit beefier runner to me. So like he runs people over.
Big frame.
You're gang tackling him and your body hurts for it, right? Like that's the level of greatness for Josh.
What makes Josh Allen scary is how big he is. What is he? 6'4", 200 and something pounds. We've seen him throw people out of the club multiple times. And then at the same time, he has the arm and the accuracy to hit you for a 98-yard touchdown. What is going on? This dude is a freak. He's like Big Ben with speed and accuracy.
At the top of the list, we mentioned him earlier.
Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes. I don't know what else we get. You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to be professional anymore.
Stop it.
Okay, fine. I'll put Mahomes back in.
Stop it. All right. We know you're a Raiders fan and everything, but this man right here, for some reason, finds a lot of success against your Raiders, Fitz. What can you say about that?
I can say that there's a reason that I'm going to be drunk by halftime tonight. What are we doing here? That Mahomes and the Chiefs, I thought they were going to finish 3rd in the division. I picked the Chargers to win the division. So far in this season, I am so wrong about what Tyreek Hill was going to mean and what Patrick Mahomes could get done. This is just a defensive mismatch. The Raiders trying to hold back Mahomes. I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this at all.
Yeah, it doesn't help that they're playing in Arrowhead Stadium. So let's hear from somebody who has played in Arrowhead Stadium. Marcus Spears, what you got to say, bro?
Listen, we all know Arrowhead is one of those traditional places in the NFL where it's difficult for opponents to go in and play. Even though when I was playing for Dallas, I got to admit that I had some success there. but it is what you want in football. It is cold in the winter. It is freezing. Fans are loud. It is one of the most difficult places to play. I remember having conversations with my teammates. It reminds you of college football when you come from places like I did, Louisiana State University. The crowd is raucous. You can barely hear yourself talk, and everybody there is to make the opposing team miserable and try to be a part of that game as much as they can to help their team win. And now that they have 15, oh yeah, that guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes, coupled with that crowd, coupled with that weather and those elements, especially when you get into playoff time, it is one of the most difficult places to play. It's been one of the most difficult places to play, but now add a generational quarterback to that. And it's no coincidence that Arrowhead is one of the most feared places to play in the NFL.
We got to get you guys ready for Monday Night Football, the only way and the right way, here on Monday Tailgate, presented by Snickers. And if you want to watch the game after, as a reminder, you can just authenticate and watch it right here on the app. And what better way to get you ready for the game with our fantasy and betting analysts. I got it right.
No bettling today?
Bettling?
What does that even mean?
Not a lot.
I don't know.
Okay,
Sometimes,
okay.
you know, when you got like two words in your head and then you
comes out.
Just combine them both?
Just mashes out and comes.
It's all right.
Well, anyway, Erin, best bet
Yes.
for tonight. What you
All
got?
right, we're going to go Derek Carr over 38.5 passing attempts in this one. So he's averaging 39 this season, with the reason being the Chiefs defense ranks 27th against the pass, but they rank first against the run. So I do think that Derek Carr all night is going to be slinging the ball. If you look back to the last couple of games, Tom Brady, he threw 52 times against the Chiefs defense. A player like Justin Herbert, he threw 48 times. And if you look back to last season, Derek Carr, he averaged 40 passing attempts in 2 games. There was only one other player against the Chiefs last season that threw more. That was Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be slinging the ball all night. Give me going over 38.5 passing attempts instead of looking at that completions prop.
Oh man, 30. I actually did take that.
That was a mouthful.
Bet.
That
I heard Aaron say that in our meeting earlier on today.
I owe
was
him
like,
money. I gave
that
you a
all
bad
makes
pick a couple
so
weeks ago.
much sense.
I gave you a bad pick a couple weeks ago, so I owe you.
She's just making up for it. All right, Dopp, what should fantasy owners know heading into this game?
So I think for me, I am looking at Isaiah Pacheco and these running backs because on Sunday on Fantasy Football Now, Adam Schefter talked about what Isaiah Pacheco might be for this offense, the way that they want to continue to utilize him in spite of the fact that Clyde Edwards-Helaire has looked absolutely fantastic, which is amazing for fantasy managers for basically the first time since his rookie year. He is finally producing. And so you love being able to see CEH be really productive here, but I don't think Pacheco is going away with that. The way that Adam talked about how much the Chiefs really enjoy him. He's a 7th-round rookie. He's big. He's got a lot of speed. He's a one-cut kind of a running back, but I don't know, man. When Adam talks, I listen. That's all I'm saying. The guy's plugged in for a reason.
Facts. And, you know, the thing about, from a fantasy outlook, Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been crushing it. It almost looks like he is that guy from a fantasy perspective. So, what would you say to Clyde Edwards-Helaire owners who are nervous right now about what you just said with Isaiah Pacheco?
You just got to hang on. I mean, at this point, you can't be too worried about it. I mean, you're hoping that this is a 7th-round kid that, like, they just want to get some touches to, see what maybe they have, but not have him potentially take over the workload, right? So from that standpoint, if you're a CEH manager, I think I'm holding tight because this Chiefs offense is still really good. And if he keeps playing the way that he is this year, this version of CEH is what you're looking for as a fantasy manager. Like, in this offense, he's been fantastic. So stand pat. It's all right. Just something to watch. I'm just watching Isaiah Pacheco here this week.
All right, so you talked about the Chiefs offense, and Aaron, I was watching you on Bet earlier today. You can also catch Aaron on Bet. The Chiefs, I think, what's their point total? 30.5 for today?
It's 30.5. And last
how
week,
do you feel about that for anyone that's thinking about that bet?
I think it's too high at this point. It's come up. It was 29.5 earlier today, but the point being is last week their team total was at 23.5 against the Bucs, and obviously it's come up this much because the Raiders just haven't been great defensively. But I will say, I mean, they're putting up 37 points on average in Patrick Mahomes' last 8 games against the Raiders. That's a lot of points, but at the same time, this might be a flat spot in terms of points scored because, you know, they have the short week. They're going against the Bills next weekend, so it's a stay away from me. But in general, we were talking about this with betting. It's really hard to bet on the Chiefs because there's so many options. And from a fantasy perspective, it has to be the same thing, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that you're looking at. You want a narrow target tree where in Seattle, the ball is getting thrown to DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, right? There's not a whole lot of other people. In Kansas City, you have so many different guys that he's going to throw the ball to. So it's a lot harder to be able to pinpoint who is it that I can start and feel confident in from this perspective. So I'm assuming it's the same way from a fantasy perspective. I do want to say really quickly, I need Travis Kelce to have more receiving yards than Devontae Adams this week in order to
I
beat
don't know
Mike
about that.
Clay in red zone. So we're hoping for a big Travis Kelce game.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Now let's make our picks for the game and see what I think right now.
love these, man.
What's our record? We heard in our ear that Erin is 4-1 in pick'em so far, so she's leading the squad.
Let's
So
go.
I'll let you go first. Who do you have
Because I'm
tonight?
from Philly. I'm kidding. All right, I'm going to go with the Chiefs 30-17.
All right, she said under 30.5, right under there, because Vegas always puts it right at the number.
They know, yeah. They
All right,
tempt
Dopp,
you.
what do you have in this
I
game?
like that first number. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yeah,
30-24.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Let's go. And I kept it under 30 as well because, like I said, I watched Bet and I heard what Erin was saying. 28-21. Fitz, who does he have for this game?
He's got
And he's a Raiders fan, mind you.
Oh, he thinks it's going to be high scoring.
He said Raiders are going to lose
Stop.
and Chiefs win big.
This is an emotional hedge is what this is right here.
All right,
That's what that
staff, what do you have? Okay, all right, here we go.
course.
For my
They go
hope,
with the underdog every week. Has the staff picked the underdog every week? I'm pretty sure they have.
just don't want us to
Oh, they
all
just don't
pick
want
the
us to
same
pick-
thing every
Is that what it
single
is?
time. I think that's
Well, I think they're smarter than I am, so I'm going to take them.
Staff is the ultimate fake god.
All right, well, thank you for watching. That's Monday Tailgate, presented by Snickers. Enjoy the game. Peace.